This will be our first episode. Last week was just test. I am here with my co-analysts.
That's fine.
D4C Striker.
And today we'll be explaining ourselves a little bit and what the show is about. I will let Mets fan take over from here. We'll let him go first.
Well, thank you, Keystone. Tonight, just a simple first episode. Get our feet under us a little bit. We'll be giving out power rankings in all 3 series. We have multiple guests tonight. Also, Keystone will kindly show us around our Cup Series track this week will be Martinsville. And with that being said, I guess we'll get into our first segment tonight. Keystone, take it away.
Alright, so starting with the D4C truck rankings will be my top 5. Now, first off, I'm not biased at all. I haven't chosen myself or any of my team. I'm going to make sure I stay unbiased throughout the season. So first off, I'm going to have to go with... I have it written down here, but I'm kind of second guessing, but I'm going to have to go with Redneck Man. He's been showing a lot of speed. How about you, Striker?
On red, no matter where we go, super aggressive, fun to race around, but in the end, when it comes down to it, you can guarantee that Redneck's going to be somewhere competing for the win there.
So who's your number 5 spot?
I'd have to say Patriot, maybe. I'd have to say Patriot.
Well, PC Patriot.
He's I raced around him quite a bit this past Sunday, and he shows a lot of potential to move up through D4C quite quickly. I'd have to put Patriot as my number 5 pick for sure.
All right, Mets, how about you, buddy?
My 5th for Truck Series would have to be the winner from last week in Dover, D4C Snag. He just seems to be there at the end. I think he would be our D4C lower series closer. Had a great interview in our test broadcast last week. We'll get him back in here so we can have an official interview. But eventually. But he's just overall a great driver. He's aggressive when he wants to be, but he's very conservative when he needs to be. And overall, just a great driver there.
Now, Mets, I'd have to. I can't disagree. He is definitely a top 5 driver, but I'd move him up a little bit in the rankings. I do believe he's better than a 5th, in my opinion. Snag's a great, fantastic driver, and I love racing the guy. He definitely deserves better than a 5th. And
oh yeah, I definitely think he'll definitely get up on my power rankings in the near future. It's just week 1 right now. I have a set list right now of what I've seen personally, especially in the booth when I broadcast along with D4C got him in nights at the Truck Series every Sunday night. And that's just my advantage right now is he's top 5 and he's won a race. So he's just going to move on up if he just keeps on contending every week. What about you, Keystone?
So now I'm going to go into my number 4 spot.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have to put serving cone in there. Every week he shows speed. The guy runs consistent. I see him getting his first win this season. How about you, Striker?
Yeah, not quite into my top 5. I would say probably top 7 for sure. Serving cone, he's a fantastic youngster coming up to the ranks here, and I also can't disagree that the possibility of a win this year is leaning in his favor. So, just not quite a top 5 for me. Mets.
Yeah, he's in my. I had him in my list for honorable mention. So he would be definitely in my top 10 right now, but I just couldn't put him in my top 5 just yet because of the quality of drivers we have in the truck series. So, but in the future, I just see him just rising up the ranks just like Snack. So it's anybody's game right now. It's only week 1 in this power rankings. We just don't know who's gonna, take the brass ring and just run with it. It's a different animal every week, different tracks, different scenarios. But my number 4 would have to be Watt Racing. He's just there every week. Top 5, I believe, in every race so far in the trucks. And then he's very competitive, very well on the mic, very respected by his other drivers. And that's all I have to say about him right now.
I couldn't disagree with you more, or agree with you more there. Mets, Watt Racing, fantastic talent in the truck series. I've raced around him a lot in these first 3 races, and I look forward to racing around him more in the future. Just super clean. He races with a level head. Not aggressive at all. He races smart. Look forward to seeing where he goes from here.
I definitely agree.
So who's your number 4 there?
I would have to say Do-Man. D4C Do-Man for sure. Do-Man is he runs in the Xfinity series as well. It's a pleasure every time I get around Do-Man. Very, very fast. Up at the front, he's another guy that you can put there in the top 10 when it comes down to it. He's potentially a number 3, but comfortably a 4 at this point, in my opinion.
All right. So, my number 3, I know this will probably be a surprise to a lot of you guys, is going to be Roto Storm. I just see for the past 2 weeks the guy's had a lot of speed. He's been able to get the finishes. He's getting more than 1 win this season.
I definitely can see your point on that one. Yep.
I definitely couldn't disagree on that. He's another one that would be sitting right there in that 3 or 4 spot, right along with Do-Man. Yeah. When you get in the middle of my list, there's a bunch of close drivers, and that's a fantastic choice for a 3 spot.
How about you, Striker? Who's your number 3?
My number 3 would have to would definitely can you come back to me?
Definitely. How about you, Mets?
My 3, I just wanted to throw this out there. My number 3, I hope this person doesn't get a big head and just runs away with it, blah, 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 and thinks he's high almighty. But my number 3 has to be Keystone guy. He's there, top 5 every week. He's had some bad luck this year. But he's just shown over and over again every track that he knows how to drive it. He's usually our go-to in-car camera broadcaster every week, and he just usually shows us how it's done. Sometimes he gets involved in a wreck that not his doing, and gets damaged and has to work his way back up. But I've seen him go from 27th to 3rd in 4 laps at any track. If he has to do it, he does it. And that's just my top 3 right now. And he's my 3rd place right now.
Striker, any
I'm
input?
sure Keystone has something to say about that.
You you stole my pick there. For sure. I mean, Keystone he's a fantastic talent. I watched him progress from majorly from last year to struggling compared to last year and this year. It's day and night. Keystone, fantastic driver. A little on the aggressive side, but he's not overly aggressive. But I can agree with the 3rd spot for Keystone for sure.
All right. Well, I really appreciate that, guys. I have really nothing to say about that. My second in line is going to have to be Ingles. Just because the guy did get suspended for a week for aggressive driving, but you know what? I think he's buckled back down, and he's ready to run that race. He's ready to be up in the top 5 and roll with the best of them.
I would have to agree with that one. That's a great choice. I haven't seen enough from him personally to say he's in my top 5 right now, but I've seen just raw potential from him. He just became an owner in the Truck Series, if I'm not mistaken, this last week. So I just see nothing but good things from him in the future.
Striker, how about you?
Yeah, I haven't raced around him much, but the little bit I have and the little bit of clippings I've seen of him on the stream, yeah, that's a fair, maybe a little bit too high in the top 5, but yeah.
All right. So, Mets, who's your number 2?
Oh, my number 2. This is where it gets difficult because I like
know.
all these guys right now, and this is just I've already said Keystone, and I mean, to him, who gets better than Keystone, right? But
I mean,
there's a couple
right now.
There is definitely a couple.
All jokes aside, my top 2 are tricky, but my number 2 right now, I've seen him race trucks great. I've seen him race Xfinity great, but right now my number 2 is Fort Smitty. He is just he is just a guy who has the. If you had an it factor in an esports NASCAR Heat 3 league for D4C, it's just a Fort Smitty clone is probably what I have to choose. I would choose him for a Cup Series. I would choose him for Xfinity Series. Truck Series. He can ride anything. Dirt Series, anything. But that's just my number 2.
Yeah, Smitty is a good choice. I think he struggles with line maintenance a little bit, but fantastic driver. He is fast. I don't know if the line maintenance is due to connection or what you have it, but Smitty, yeah, Smitty's a great driver.
Very true. So, Striker, what would your number 2 be?
I would have to go with He's a Cup regular, runs in the trucks. He's a team owner in the trucks. Outlaw, D4C Outlaw. I know he's a Cup driver, but to this point, in all fairness, Outlaw deserves to have that number 2 spot. I raced with him at Atlanta, and we fell back to the back and worked our way up all the way to the front. And if I'm not mistaken, he got a top 5 finish there.
I believe you're right. That's not a bad choice at all. He's definitely another one that you have that's in my honorable mentions. I just couldn't put him in the top 5 yet, but after his showing at Dover last week, when him and Snag at the last lap had that great back and forth, he's definitely somebody that I'm looking forward to putting in my top power rankings here in the near future.
So, I guess it comes down to me.
Yes, sir.
You guys are going to judge the hell out of this. But I know he hasn't won yet this season. But he's led a hell of a lot of laps. I believe he's won a stage or 2. He is the driver of the number 88 truck. And that would be Watt Racing. I just had to put him up there. The guy's been showing expressive speed every week.
I mean, he's not having that bad of a season at all.
He's a points racer.
If I'm not mistaken, he recently just joined the series. He hasn't quite gained a whole lot of points. He's sitting toward the back of the points scale there, and I think he's got like nine points maybe, and couple stage points, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a little early to put him up there in the number 1 spot. There's a lot of talent in front of him, in my opinion. In my opinion, there's drivers that get caught up in stuff that are better. For instance, Tar Heel. Tar Heel's a fantastic driver. He just catches bad breaks throughout the night. Shows a lot of speed. I wouldn't put Watt in front of Tar Heel just yet, and Tar Heel's probably a top 10 driver. I'd just like to see a little more out of Watt Racing throughout the season for him to be number 1.
If I may counter real quick, Watt Racing in the 4 races he's been with us, he missed 2. He is sitting 2nd place in points right now, right behind Dooman.
Yes, I was going to say that. I was going to agree with that 100%.
Okay, so the point standings that I am looking at has not been updated yet. So
yeah,
no,
by a
sir.
mile.
Okay. My apologies.
No biggie.
Rookie mistake.
But yeah, I definitely agree with Keystone's pick here. He's definitely in my top 5, like I said. And you know, we're pretty much all talking the same guys, and just maybe just in different orders.
Yeah,
and,
just different order, but
we're getting down to the nitty gritty here, and who's everybody's number 1. So, Striker, who's your number 1?
If the guy can get his act together, Zachary Jason, man, yeah, that guy's shown that he can drive.
he actually left the
if he could get his line maintenance, really.
Yeah, it was just posted 2 weeks ago that he was leaving the truck series and staying Xfinity only.
Yeah.
Well, see, I just joined the series myself, so I haven't been fully.
But you know what?
aware.
You still just give him that number 1 spot because he was a winner, series championship winner. The guy just
Exactly.
runs a good race.
He does. I agree.
If he could get his line maintenance down. If he could get his line maintenance down, he would be a fantastic driver. I look forward to see what he's going to do in the Xfinity series. He runs on my good buddy team, Do-Man.
Yep. He's dad just had to step away for due to indifferences with certain people and just wanted to focus on one series right now, and he chose a Tuesday night Xfinity. That's it. But it's not a bad choice because he's just he can drive anything, and this game he has picked it up and perfected his style if he can get his line maintenance, like you said. Keystone, who's your number one, buddy?
Like I said, Watt.
He said Watt Racing.
Yeah, I get the Watt
What did you
Racing.
say? I'm sorry.
Fine.
My number one. My number one is, well, somebody mentioned him already, but surprisingly, he mentioned him as his, I believe, his number 4 or 5. My number one is actually D4C Do-Man. He's top 2 every week. He's leading the point standings right now. He's also the runner-up to last year's championship Poopy Pants. And he shows just speed everywhere he goes. He's great there. He's great everywhere, I should say. And that's just my number one in trucks. I mean, I understand if everybody, if anybody disagrees with it, but that's just my number one.
I'm not going to disagree with you. Do-Man's a fantastic driver. I know Do-Man's talent. Yeah, I respectfully put him in 4th as my 4th pick, but everybody knows that Do-Man is a top 3 for sure. I just wanted to get some of them younger guys that are coming up through the series give them that.
Let's jump
if I'm
to
making sense here.
Yeah, you definitely are. Let's jump to the Xfinity series here. Metz will be stepping out for this because obviously he's the owner of the Xfinity series at the point. So it's just gonna be me and Stryker. So Stryker, how would you like to start things off?
My top 5 here. I have it wrote down. I'm getting to it here. Give me just a second. Starting with number 5 would be okay, going through my notes.
You're fine, buddy. Just do all 5, and I'll do all 5, and we'll just go back 4, see what we can finish up.
I'm just gonna go down my list and give you what I have for my top 5. Number 5, Zachary Jason. Number 4, Redneck. Number 3, Do-Man. Number 2, Henny. And number 1, Squad Hype. At this point, based on performances this early season we have here, it's sure to change, but all these guys have showed that they want to win. They're going to do what it takes to win. I'm impressed with their driving styles for sure. Henny was a big surprise to me coming into the season, sitting in my number 2 spot, but he's definitely earned that number 2 spot for sure.
All right, so I cannot disagree with anybody on your list. They all deserve to be there. And my list was actually pretty similar, except there's a couple runarounds here. So, my number 5 was Chevy Man. Number 4 was Fort Smitty, also with holding his line. He's getting there. It takes time. Number 3, definitely have to be Redneck. My number 2 is going to be Henny. And don't grow your head in this one, Stryker. but I'm seeing you as the top contender in the Xfinity Series right now.
Well, I appreciate that. I got some work to do. I don't know if I'm deserving of that number one spot just yet. Um, I got some work to do. Definitely, there's definitely guys out on the track that outperform me week in and week out. But I do appreciate the confidence booster and the compliment of your choices there.
So let's do our top 3 for the Cup Series.
Yes,
Mets,
sir.
you start off.
Okay, so are we going one at a time here? Or are we going all 3 at once? How would you like how would you like to do this?
Let's do it one at a time.
One at a
Everybody
time?
pick
10
one.
4. Okay.
There-
Let's go one at a time here. So my number 3 in Cup Series right now. Another one I'm calling out for last week's winner. He won Auto Club, and that would be the Aviator right now. He's my number 3. He's won last week, and he's got points wise. He's points wise still on the top 3 in points, and he's just a young kid who has the drive to get better week in week out. He's in the Cup Series for a reason. At that age of I believe he's a 15-year-old prodigy, I would say. But that's my 3rd place right now in the Cup Series. How about
You
you,
can always look for
Tracker?
You could always look for Aviator to be in the top 5, compete for the win at 90% of the tracks. The kid's just a major talent and super fast, super clean. The kid has great race awareness. He's before his time of knowledge in what he shows. It's amazing how big of a talent Aviator is. But my number 3 pick, I'd have to put D4C J.R. Horn in the number 3 spot. The guy is on and off the track, fantastic. He's fast. He's very intelligent when it comes to pit road stops and adjustments. Fantastic at pit strategy. You can look for him to be there at the end.
Honestly, Mets, you stole my thunder a little bit. I thought Aviator was going to go on the radar a little, but Aviator was my number 3.
Well, great minds think alike, man. Great minds think alike. Say for the same reason I expect. Same reasons as I said.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say. I raced with the kid in the Truck Series last year, and he kicked my ass.
Oh. Well, he's definitely got the talent, I would have to say.
Who's your number 2?
My number two. Now, before I say my number 2, I have to agree with Striker because Horn was definitely in my top 5. So he's definitely in the right ballpark as me, and I can't disagree with anything he said about Horn. My number 2, if anybody's watched the stream last week, our test stream, and we did the Cup Series power rankings, my top 2 has not changed from last week. My number 2 is Amore Smoke. I've seen this guy in other series, in any race car, anything whatsoever in this game, in last year's NASCAR Heat 2 game, was phenomenal in everything he raced. He was first, he led every lap, he can do whatever he wants to that race car. This year is just nothing different. The Cup Series this year has been superior and talent-wise, I believe, since the beginning of D4C, and they have upped the ante in the competitive department in that, and I believe that he's just still the top 2 driver in that series. And that's just basically all I have to say about him. How about y'all?
I would have to put another young talent there in the top 3 there with CGM Rose. The kid is super fast, super talented. He's before his time, knowledge-wise on the track. Him and Aviator, two of the youngsters in the Cup Series holding it out with the big dogs. What else can you say? They both got to be in the top five for sure. CGM Rose would be my number two pick, winning at Daytona. Fantastic.
Ain't nothing wrong with that pick. How about you, Keystone?
So, you guys are probably going to think I'm a little biased because he is a guy I did race with in Truck Series this past season. They just moved him up. I see him with a lot of talent. I'm going to have to go with our very own God Power. The kid...
It's a good choice right there. Good, very good choice.
The kid has just raw, natural talent, just like Aviator and Rose. All three of them will be taking over D4C in a matter of a couple of years, I say. These kids can run laps, stay up front, and make the right decisions at the end of the race and win. Now, getting into
I don't disagree.
I would just like to thank all the week's sponsors here. For
a top three, for a top three, in my opinion, for just getting bumped up to the Cup for a power ranking is a little much, but we each got our own opinion. I'm not disagreeing that God Power isn't that great of a driver. God Power is a great driver, but to put him in the top three this early on, we're just on the West Coast swing, so I'd have to see a little bit more out of God Power. Maybe a top 15 at this point in time, just being moved up. I'd like to see what he has later on in the season when we're getting down to the nitty gritty under pressure. So that's just what I think.
all right.
Understandable. Very understandable. Oh, we're getting top echelon right now, right?
Number one.
Well, I guess I'll start this thing off. But my number one, it has to be mentioned already in, I believe, number 2 spot. And Stryker said, it might have been Keystone, but I believe it was Stryker. CGM Rose. I mean, he is top 2 every week. He has the fastest car every week. I believe he won 2 in a row, if I'm not mistaken, this year. And he is just, with a little bad luck, he probably would have won 4 in a row. He's just the overall. I had no idea. I just learned today that he's a young guy too, and it just amazes me how D4C just finds these great drivers and that want to compete every week and want to succeed every week, and I'm just amazed by it every week. So that's my number one. I understand if you disagree, but remember, this changes every week for me. So if you didn't get in my top 5, my top 3 this week, you might be in there next week. Who knows?
Well, Mets, I'd have to say, me and you just did a flip flop here, because my number one pick would be Amore. That guy's just. I love to watch Amore race because super smooth. Looks like he's just running on a rail out there. Guy's fantastic. You can count on him to be in the top 5, top 7 at the end of the race, competing for a win. I'd say almost every week.
I definitely understand every valid point right there. I definitely understand it. It was definitely can't argue anything you just said. Keystone, how about you? Who's your number 1 in Cup?
Well, Mets, you both got me stumped because I was stuck between CGM Rose and Amore. And I'm just going to have to go with the raw experience of Amore. I've just got to go with the experience over a young gun sometimes.
I understand. I definitely understand.
I really can't say anything about the guy's driving. He's just immaculate. He runs every race like it's his last race, and he's put on some dominating shows in his time that I've seen. Definitely put on some shows.
Some guys floating around.
I don't know if y'all remember this one, but I think it was about a year or two ago.
Can't ever leave Valley out of the top 5. He's super fast. There's Poopy Pants, just guys that. This is just an early on power.
Yeah, this is just very early on.
This guy's gonna be. But I look forward to seeing what this year's Cup Series bring. They've been super fantastic in their racing this year.
Oh, very good, very good. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you go to HD Motorsports YouTube channel and catch up on the series. Watch every broadcast so far, then watch it every Thursday night at 8:20 Eastern.
Wasted.
No time wasted. And get there early enough, like one of our hosts tonight, Stryker. If you get there early enough, can pick the winner, you're in chance in line for a $10 Amazon gift card. And if you stick at the end, stick through to the end and watch the winner across the finish line, you definitely will pick up that Amazon gift card. And our Stryker definitely knows how that feels like.
I want to be one of those with Sweeter's win.
There you go.
Shout out to Sweeter on give me that $10 Amazon card there.
There you go. There you go. All right, Keystone. Where we go from here, buddy?
Well, we're going to Martinsville.
I'm going
to run a couple laps around the track
here. Show us around.
And I'll have to show you guys around.
Grab me a hot dog while you're there, too. All right? If you're going to Martinsville, grab me a hot dog.
Yeah, I got you. Mets, could you remove Dozer from party? We need to re-invite him. Seems some people are disconnected. Here we are at the beautiful Paperclip, Martinsville Speedway. It is one of NASCAR's oldest tracks in general, and I believe it was NASCAR's first paved track. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but sorry if I'm a little rusty. I haven't ran a Cup car here in a long time, but
Alright, let's get back in there. Let's go. Come on.
We're gonna come out here and make our way down this very small backstretch. So, I'm going to get as much speed up as I can right here and brake very hard into the corner. You want to be right up against that curve. I mean, you have to be pretty much eating that curve every lap. This track is a very, very risky track as far as hitting the curve and going up on it and just breaking your car apart. As you see, the speeds here are very slow compared to most tracks. I mean, you're lucky if you break 130 going down the back or front stretch.
Car there's on your
It's very
clear all around.
driver-oriented track, per se, because without your driver, even with a decent car here, you're not going to do any good without a decent driver. This track is very town-oriented. Mets, do you have anything to add on to that?
I would definitely agree with everything you said. We can't tell you if we're wrong or right on the historian part about Martinsville. Not the person to ask about that, but it's definitely a track that you have to be in good rhythm with. You got to be very smart with your bumpers. It's an aggressive track, especially if you're an aggressive driver. That bumper is key to any success here. And if you don't use it right, there'll be some hot tempers. That's basically all I have for Martinsville. How about you, sir?
One of the keys to success in Martinsville is getting the power down out of the corners.
Try to move back a little closer.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Brought to you by Spring.
Oh. Good.
Not our sponsor. Not our sponsor.
No, that's only a joke.
Not a sponsor. A key to success at Martinsville is getting the power down out of the corners. If you can't get the power down, your car tends to kick out at a exit of the turns there. Also, you want that low line. You want to get your nose down in that first turn first.
Keep it up. That was your best lap ever. That car in front of you is coming to the pit.
In Martinsville, it's possible to pass on the outside out of exit, but the inside line in the turns is going to win you the race at Martinsville 9 times out of 10, in my opinion. And the power down out of the turns.
Any car is just ahead.
And that's all I have for Martinsville.
Yes, sir. It should be a good one Thursday night.
Oh, definitely going to be a good race. And then
Definitely.
the Truck Series will head in Kansas. And where is the Xfinity Series head, Mr.
Xfinity will be going to the West Coast.
Car in front of you is coming to the pit.
Back to California. And the Auto Club. We're going to Auto Club this Tuesday. After we had a great race at Phoenix last night. And,
Yeah, I was kind of bummed that I missed that race, but
Keep it up. That was your best lap ever.
when duty calls, you got to take care of it.
Waiting in
But,
front of you.
I was looking forward to ISN for sure. One of my favorite tracks. I don't quite run well there, but I do like to run there.
yeah, that's definitely a track that I've grown to like over the times I've run there. Especially they just changed the format there. Of the style of the track a little bit. It's hard to get used to calling the turns different numbers now, but it happens. We'll all get used to it. We always do. But it was an overall great race. It was hectic pretty early, but it calmed down. A lot of bumpers were hit. A lot of tempers were flared just a little bit, but less than I imagined going into it. We had some great performances. A lot of guys that showed up to get a top 10 this week. Really could be in our power rankings in the future. So I just expect good things from Auto Club this week in the Xfinity Series.
But boy, is there going to be some battles on that high line, the bottom line. You can use everyone on that track and be fast. I
Yes,
just
sir.
think it's going to be one of the better tracks.
Yes, sir. Speaking of Auto Club, I got about 5 minutes until I have to go to practice Auto Club with the Xfinity guys. So if you don't hear from me the rest of the podcast, the broadcast, it's this Mets fan, and it was a pleasure having you here.
All right, guys, on that note, I am going to start up our interviews here. And we got a decent amount of people tonight, so this could take a few minutes. So I hope y'all are sitting back and enjoying some popcorn and having some fun. Alright, so we're going to start with one of the up-and-coming new Cup drivers. His name is God Power, and here we go. Alright, so God Power, what is your car number and what is your team?
I am the driver of the GoDaddy number 7 car for, I believe it's Shelby Green Racing. I'm not sure if the name got switched or not, but that's as far as I know.
Alright, so how does it feel running in the Cup Series in D4C? God Power.
Yep, sorry. I lost connection for a second.
You okay? Need me to repeat myself?
Yes, please.
So, I was saying, how does it feel to run in the Cup Series in D4C right now?
It feels natural. I mean, at first I was a little bit nervous. Wasn't too sure how the guys would what's it called? Be willing to allow me to race. or how much respect I would get. But as of right now, I think going out last week, having that fast car auto club, I really think I earned some respect from some people. So it's nothing but uphill from here now.
So, moving up from the truck series as fast you did, are you leaving anything behind with your truck team, or is it full speed ahead in the Cup series?
I might come back and run a few on the truck series. I'm not sure. I definitely would like to run that Canadian Tire road course, but as of in near future, I'm pretty much just going to be sticking with the Cup series for as of right now.
Also, as of this season, go ahead.
But no, as of now, I would definitely like to just stick with the Cup series. Big race tomorrow night at Martinsville, so getting some practice laps done for that.
Have any strategy input for Martinsville? You got anything you want to do?
Well, I mean, I really like short tracks, so I'm just hoping I have the speed, but I don't know. We were practicing. Aviator, he's looking mighty fast. A bunch of other guys are looking mighty fast, so that I don't really have any strategies specifically going into the race. I'm just trying to keep my car clean, stay at front. I'm just running some laps.
I'm sure you got some tricks up your sleeve you're going to show later on this week. I look forward to seeing you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure.
All right, God Power, we appreciate you stopping by.
Yep, no problem.
It's been mighty fine having you. We're actually got a couple of the couple Xfinity guys and a couple truck guys to interview here. As far as we go, Striker, would you like to take this one? You choose your person, and just move your mic a little closer.
My mic's really close.
There you go.
Take an Xfinity driver here.
Well, that would be Mr. Roto here.
Hey, Roto, what's going on, buddy? D4C Striker here. Man, I've been impressed with the way you've been running in the Xfinity series these past couple of weeks. I've heard a lot of good things about you. I've watched your performances on the track. At this point in time, I don't have anything bad to say. How are you feeling about the Xfinity series? Are you comfortable around the guys that you're running with? What's your story up to this point?
Yeah, Striker, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, the guys in the Xfinity series are fast. The most of everybody in there is fast, and to get the opportunity to run in a league as such as D4C is phenomenal. The guys we race around, you've got so many fast guys in there that, I mean, just too many to name, but the competition is strong. We didn't have the performance that we was hoping for at ISM, but I think we ended up 12th there, but I was hoping for a solid top 10 anyway. But so many fast guys, and we're sitting just inside that cutoff line, I believe, for playoffs right now. It's still early, still looking to get that first win, but all in all, man, it's been a good time. It's been I look forward to Tuesday nights and racing with these guys, and seeing how fast these guys are, and just making a splash for myself and putting my name in the mix is a great time, and we're having a lot of fun.
I'm glad to hear that, man. And a 12th place finish at ISM in a 30 car field, man. That's an honorable finish for such a young driver in the league and in the series. In my opinion, I see you moving up the Cup probably next season, if not before then. You're just a talent on the track. It's fun to race around you. going into California, do you have any strategies or anything special that you're gonna bring? And
Nothing I'm going to
teamwork
toss out
together?
here. Nothing I'm going to toss out here as far as strategy. No, I tell you, Heated Snowman is my team motor in the Xfinity series, and he's absolutely phenomenal. We've got Chevy Man and Munsonator, it's teammates to us, and we run the the JD Motorsports cars, the Red Seal cars, and so they look good going around the racetrack. But the teamwork is phenomenal. We're messaging each other all the time and swapping back and forth different things to try. And it's Auto Club is one of them racetracks, man. You just carry a lot of speed coming off the exits, and you got such a long back straightaway there. And draft is always a factor when it comes to the Xfinity cars, and having a setup to where you can enter and exit really well, to where your car's not too tight, because you're going to be in the draft, and the draft plays a factor on those things, and at least for me, in my opinion. So going into Auto Club, man, I'm super ecstatic about it. I typically have a pretty decent car there, so I'd like to get some stage points and come out of the top 5 and maybe even get that first win in D4C.
Hey man, I wish you the best, and you have a heck of a team leader there. I raced around Heated a lot last season, and man, Heated is really fast. But I look forward to seeing you guys out on the track Tuesday night. Old Rockabilly Motorsports will be coming for you. I know your whole team's fast, and congratulations, man, on your coming to D4C, and I look forward to seeing you out there. I look forward to seeing you in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, starting out, we ran a few winter season races and was able to get picked up. And I had a couple of people reach out to me. I won't mention any names, but I had a couple of people reach out to me, and was eventually picked up by Heated, and then did a little talking around and landed myself a truck ride on the D4C Gothams team, and we've been successful over there. We've came out with a 4th and 6th, and we're headed to one of my more favorite racetracks. We'll get that high side working at Kansas. I'm looking forward to that, and just ran a practice with some guys, with Doom and some guys before I came over here for the broadcast. So looking forward to Sunday night, man. Can't wait to get on the track Tuesday and see what we got at Auto Club, and keep working ourselves more on forward and head up those points and make playoffs and make a push.
Heck yeah, man. Sounds great. Sounds like you got you a couple good role models and team leads there, and roll on, brother. Good luck, Kansas. Good luck out of Cali. Roll on.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the interview, buddy. Keystone?
All right. Brodo, thank you again for stopping by for the interview for us.
Yeah, no problem.
Very good job in the truck series also. You've been running top 10 every race. You definitely had some speed in Texas, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, I was listening to God Power, and just talking about that respect that you get when you come in, and being a new guy coming in on someone else's turf, and guys that's been there from the beginning. That's kind of tough, but man, I'm happy about my 4th and my 6th. We ran 4th at Texas, and they just spoke about that, and then we went 6th this past Sunday. So hopefully that respect is building, and I've got a lot of guys reach out to me, and made a lot more friends, and done a lot more practice with those guys. So yeah, the trucks has been a lot of fun to be able to come in and race with those guys. So
all right, well, thank you for stopping by, sir.
I'll catch you guys later.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, keep up the good work, man. Yeah, just keep running hard and doing what you do. Like I said, I enjoy racing with you. You're fun to watch on the track, man. I look forward to running with you in the future, man. You're on your way.
Definitely. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that.
All right. I would like to if Ace is still here, I'd like to do my own driver, Ace Dangerous. Ed, you got a copy? Ed is as I said, he is my driver in the Truck Series for Pure Steel Racing. He actually just started in Truck Series about a week ago. Definitely showed some speed recently, but Ed, what were you lacking last week? So, do you have anything to say going forward through the season, what your expectations are? Now, seeing as you are new to the league, is there anything you'd like to say to your fellow drivers? Alright, Striker, would you like to add anything in there?
Man, I ain't raced around you much, but what I've seen, quite happy with the way you run and show respect on the track. Just all around good driver. I look forward to seeing what else you can bring to the Xfinity Series. I've heard a lot of good things about you. I've heard that you carry speed, and I don't have anything negative to say, or but what's your thoughts on going into California? You running decent? Yeah. Any plans or strategy?
Um,
Fast group of guys, man.
I was very fortunate to have been to a few days with the guy BB Juggernaut. Up the camera that the three of us working with to get him up there. Auto Club, it's just going to be one of those things. Grass is going to be a back. A lot of ways as high level everything to do, and it's going to be fair. As far as the top, finish.
Previously, man,
My
we've
strategy is I've got run with. I guess that's qualifying every day to try to keep talent flying Jake from there.
hey, I hear that, man. In the past, we've seen some four wide racing out of Cali and clean four wide racing like that. If you get put in that kind of situation, are you gonna hold out? You gonna push on?
It really depends. There were some situations that I have been realized that if I see the guy coming up on me, like he ran me down from 2 seconds in the middle of the fuel run. He didn't have a lot of caution last night. So he ran me down and Tech ran me down. He ran me down. I see you running me down. I'm just going to back off because it's not. And, 30 other guys on the track top 10 finish. I'll just give you guys a space. That's really my goal because I'm just down here trying to get his back.
That's respectable.
I won't drain like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to piss anybody off and not for egg.
That's a conservative, respectable answer. Yeah.
Just here to get back. I have this fun game here.
Well, we look forward to having you in the Xfinity series for sure. I know Matt's had talked about you previously, the series owner. But I definitely look forward to seeing you on the track more often from all the good input I've heard. So, with that being said, Keystone, anything to close it out, man?
No, I just thank you for coming in here, Ace Dangerous. I look forward to working with you tomorrow night, or at least Friday night, and getting some team practice together. I feel like we're running pretty strong. All right, buddy. Well, thank you for coming by. Good luck in your race tonight. Have a good one.
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
All right. Last but not least, I have Georgia Dozer here. He's also one of the newer guys in the league. He runs in the truck series. He hasn't had the best finishes lately, but he has shown speed every week. I haven't been able to run around him much recently, but that's just because I'm waiting. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right.
I haven't had time to run around with him is just because he's always consistent. I can tell you that much. I've run with this guy for probably the last 7 years.
7 or 8, something like that.
And he's helped me a lot, and I've helped him a lot. Striker, would you like to handle this one, or do you want me to handle it?
Go ahead.
All right. So, Jordan Dozer, what is your truck number, and who do you race for?
I drive the O2 truck for Die Hard Racing.
All right. So far this season, how's everything been going for you?
Well, to say the least, mediocre. Started off at Atlanta. Unexpected truck ride. A buddy of mine, Shadow Grimm, who I'm really good friends with, called me up and was like, "Hey, are you interested in, a truck ride?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." So I got to run with the group at Atlanta, and really to start out, I was, still kind of new. Didn't really know, the rules and how they run things and everything, and really, ever since Atlanta, I, to me, I feel like I've been getting better and better, day in, day out, every week. Uh, in Dover last week, I had an amazing truck. Just made one too many mistakes. And there at the end, the apron at Dover is, really killer. And the apron got me there toward the end of the race, and I was making my way up. I was running fifth or sixth at the time, fixing got the top three, and I hit the apron, and later on in that race, I ended up going a lap down, and I really could never recover. So, really, I mean, this season's been fun. Just been able to get to meet some of the new guys, especially the owner. He's really cool, chill. But yeah, I'm still learning, so got a long way to go. But I feel like every week I'm getting better, day in, day out.
All right, so as far as, let's just put it as this, as far as Shadow Grim no longer being in the league, do you think you could step up and take his place?
Yes and no. Yes, I'm a talented racer. It took me a while to realize how good I actually was. I mean, when I started out, I was no good. I was sitting there, getting into everybody, and I really didn't make any friends. I made enemies, and just over the last 12 years, out of all the leagues that I've been in, Fast and Loud, is really where I felt like I was becoming better and better each race in that league. I was performing okay, but me getting into Shadow Grim's shoes, I think I can. How do I put this? I believe I am better than him somewhat. I feel like if I can put myself in the right positions every week, I can come out of each race for the top five. For example, I'm going to bring it up again. Dover. I had a fast truck.
You were actually running third
I
behind
worked
me.
with. I was, yes. And like I said, the apron, I caught the apron and I could never, recover. Which, I mean, it's pretty disappointing. I felt like I let my team down. Although, Eagles had a pretty decent race. I got a good group of teammates around me that's really helped me a lot over the last couple of weeks. So, yeah.
So, is there anything else you'd like to say before we close out the show here?
Just really looking forward to the next couple of weeks. Feel like Kansas is coming up. Kansas is, oh my, where I start. The high side is really one thing I can say about Kansas is fast. Once you get up on the high side, it's like no one can pass you. But I'm just really looking forward to the next couple of weeks. Kansas, like I said, is coming up, and I've always performed well at Kansas, no matter what I'm in, what series I'm in. So I'm really looking forward to next season and see if we can't start to work our way up
So,
All right, so this has been Up to Speed and D4C. I totally screwed that up right there. This has been Up to Speed and D4C.
Does this make you want a Reese's? Oh, how about this? Okay, we'll stop. Just kidding. We're not gonna stop. Not sorry. Reese's.
With D4C striker and Mets fan, who is no longer with us. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory or anything. But thank you everybody for stopping